Kenya Moore's presence on Real Housewives of Atlanta is hugely missed, and everybody is talking about it. Even more so on the heels of Porsha's gutter comments threatening to sleep with Angela's husband in retaliation. Because one thing is for sure, Kenya would have gotten Porsha all the way together for that behavior.
Girl. Kenya is definitely missed for that specifically because, we remember that Nene Leakes said, hey, Kenya is the fire starter in the sense that you're going to get something started. Kenya is the one to do it, and she would have really got Porsha all the way together on that. And not only is Kenya Moore being talked about on her show, I'm calling it her show,
right?
Because, honey, she had it like that. But Kenya's name is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Kenya is being talked about on that Carlos show. She was talked about by Claudia, I believe. Mm-hmm. Claudia Jordan said, now, what is going on? Why are we looking at this girl, Britt, on this show, and Kenya is nowhere to be seen?
Right.
What is going on? Why do we have the likes of a Britt on this show? Where is Kenya?
Yeah.
Kenya is being missed all over the place. She's being missed. Even Giselle from Potomac was talking about how is it that Kenya was let go of the show, and this girl they call Britt is not off of the show.
Exactly.
Kenya is being talked about in so many circles, in so many realms, in so many areas, so much so that people are like, Kenya, we miss you. We want to be all involved in what you're doing, especially with your beautiful child, and how we love to see what you got coming for your YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know we talked about it before, but this was definitely all part of the plan, because with Porsha's comments going basically unchecked, I know we haven't seen the next episode yet, but right now, for her to be able to not have any accountability and just blame it on the Henny, talking about she didn't say anything, she apologized, she didn't say anything.
Right.
That lack of accountability is something that Kenya would have called Porsha out on.
She certainly would have.
And it stemmed from, again, back in that season 6 reunion that they had, where Porsha was talking her mess, and then when Kenya got back with her, called her what she is, and what she is always continually to showing herself to be.
On a microphone. Bullhorn, no less. Okay?
And so when she did that, and then Porsha couldn't get back with the verbal back and forth, so she decided to use her hands instead.
Yes.
And then Porsha threw a fit on the floor, because she victimized herself. Then she became the victim, and everybody was going patting Porsha and, oh, is you okay? Are you okay? What's going on? Oh, we don't let her win and all that stuff. And Porsha's screaming and flailing her arms and legs around. She embarrassed herself. She let that ratchet, No, she was the one who's ratchet, who had to resort to physically doing something to Kenya instead of responding with her words. So she was allowed, even back then, to have no accountability for what she did. She became the victim in that situation, and everyone was trying to comfort her, even to the extent where Kenya said that Porsha should have been fired from the show after that. But all they did was demote her, where she still was able to be on that show that very next season, but just as a friend of the show. No accountability. So now here we come. How many years later is this? How many seasons later? 10 whole seasons later. And now we got the same thing. Here she is saying that about this woman's husband, and then taking no accountability for it. And it shows the direction that they have been trying to get this show to go in, to pivot in, where it's not about beautiful, classy women who, can sometimes get into disagreements and differences of opinion and handle themselves properly and appropriately with it, with class, but it's presenting an image of gutter behavior, ratchet behavior, and letting that be okay.
very good point, because a lot of people are saying that in the comments, and we are just so excited. You all have some wonderful comments. The people are saying that this behavior is truly unacceptable. How could you even think? Why would your first or her first go to be about getting with someone's husband? Why would that be her first go to? It's like, this is not what we signed up for this show. Taking this show to a whole new low, not to even mention the low ratings, okay? Right. So they're fortunate that we continue to even talk about it. And we do it because the things that need to be set right in this. And what needs to be set right is the way in which they did Kenya. It's as simple as that. And that's why this downward spiral is happening. That's why this girl can't seem to help herself with the stuff that comes out of her mouth. And people are looking at her and it's like, it's not that we didn't know she was capable of this. It's that we may have thought that there would have been a change since she's now a parent. But then to say something like this, and someone in our comments said, and not to even think that her child will one day see something like this. And wonder what in the world. So you guys, I'm telling you, you all got to get this together. This is not what anyone signed up for this.
Right.
Don't let this take on a new level of low.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
To say something like that.
Exactly.
About another castmate's husband.
And really, it wasn't out of the blue, because she's been telegraphing what type of time she's on since she came. Especially when you talk about that scene at the restaurant when she tried to pretend like, oh, she heard something about Charles.
Right.
She's been telegraphing. Why is this man's name even on her lips?
She has been telegraphing this.
Why are you bringing him up? What is it that she's bringing him up for in that situation, in that setting?
And someone else, some wonderful person in our comments said something to the effect that she wants that man. It's simple. She's jealous. She wants that man. He's the epitome of the man that is taking good care of his wife, which she doesn't have right now. The man that is making his wife be the queen in their household. She doesn't have that right now. So the comments are really amazing, because there are some people who have scoped Porsha from day one. And has never given a thought to her even changing her ways.
The longer they allow this behavior to go forward unchecked, it's really indicative of how low they want the show to go. Because these ladies are not calling her out, whereas Kenya would have called her out. And we know that it hit because that girl jumped up off that seat because of what Kenya said, the words that Kenya said. And it was so simple. She said, "Shut up, you."
That was it. And we know
and that hit where she was. It got her where she was, because that is what she identifies herself as. She knows that she's that. And instead of, having someone there to call her out, how Angela just let her scurry off into the back into the house or whatnot. It's like, no, you can't get away with this type of behavior. And it's for her own good. This is not, because first of all, Porsha ain't working with what she trying to act like she worked with. She can't keep a man.
That's so true.
She basically, every man that she goes after, even if it is some sort of long-term relationship, they throw her back out. They toss her back out like the trash that she portrays herself as. So that's really not a threat. She needs to stop being unchecked in this. And that the fact that Bravo is letting her behavior go unchecked like that is really sending a message to all the ladies on that show.
That is so true.
And it's not a good message. And hopefully what the views, the ratings are showing that this is not the direction we want this show to go in. We don't want Ratchet on the show. We don't want them just going and saying anything and not being checked. We don't want them to just be able to get away with this type of low vibrational behavior. The show wasn't created for that.
That's exactly what the viewers are saying, and the comments speak to that in every last episode they do. In every video, the comments speak to that. People want more. People don't need to see our women coming up like this, talking about taking some. I mean, and we can't say it enough. And maybe if we say it even more, this will curtail her behavior. Stop talking about taking other people's husbands and doing things with them. Stop that. That is so low. Stop that. We want to know that you are better than this, okay? But we can't want better for Porsha than she wants for herself.
Right.
And some people in the comments also says that she thinks this is cute.
It is not.
And she thinks this is the way to go to get the attention she so desperately craves. And girl, you're getting the attention, but is this the attention you want?
Nope.
I mean, you need to be seen as something more than what they say, ratchet.
Right. It's crazy because she's putting herself in the market, but her behavior is pricing herself out the market.
Exactly.
So it's like, girl,
exactly.
This not what you want.
And that is so very interesting because this was the very thing Kenya came in changing about herself. And then what does production do? They set her up in a situation to try and bring that old Kenya back.
Yep.
But see, no, we're not having it, because we will have excellence on our shows with our ladies.
Exactly.
And so that's just something that the viewers are noticing. It's all in the comments with the great comments. You all are on top of it. We enjoy hearing how smart and astute you have been about Porsha all this time. So that's it for now, and that's all.
All right, let us know what you think in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.